The month of October has witnessed a lot of positive vibes to raise the optimism stakes for the rest of the year. Here are the top 5 positive news stories of October 2021. Before we begin, please show us some love by liking our video, subscribing to our channel, and hitting the bell icon to receive notifications for upcoming positive listicle videos. Number 5. Istanbul improves the lives of its thousands of stray cats with elaborate outdoor cat houses. In Istanbul, a city of 15 million people that's famous for its relaxed attitude towards stray cats, groups of volunteers build elaborate houses for their feline neighbors. There, cats can find donated food and toys, cushions and boxes to keep them out of harsh weather, and even a new owner if they're lucky. It all started back in 2008 when an interior architect named Didem Gökçe regularly passed through a park on her way to work in the district of Sicily, in which there were always stray cats trying to find places to keep warm in winter. Attempting to help the felines, she placed several plastic boxes they could shelter in around Mystic Park, but officials removed them because they were seen as an eyesore. Gradually, Gökçe came to know the people who would feed the stray cats and formed a plan to build more refined and pleasant shelters anchored to the ground with chains. Gökçe invited the mayor to a meeting, and the idea was discussed in circumstances that perhaps drove home the need for some sort of action. After getting the mayor's word that new houses would not be removed, Gökçe, who now runs the non-profit cat supplier Poto, installed 2 houses in Mystic Park with her friends. The Mystic Park houses, whimsical and colorful, were a turning point, which after being covered by local news, saw replication in parks around the city's 39 districts. Gökçe was flooded with requests to build houses for 2 universities, cafes, and even the Industrial Development Bank of Turkey. After that came the requests to build cat houses in other cities of Turkey. The cats too responded to the real estate boom and moved to them in droves. This allows volunteers, who often organize via WhatsApp groups, to keep a closer eye on the cats' lives, ensuring that strays who wander into the community are spayed and neutered and that any signs of disease can be dealt with swiftly. Number 4. Nebraska teen runner helps competitor finish race after he collapsed, forfeiting his own district medal hopes. In the sport of track and field, athletes compete not only with one another but against themselves, and with each race they strive to achieve a new personal best. For one Nebraska teen running in what would likely be his final cross-country outing before graduating high school, his personal best turned out not to be about marking the fastest time, but displaying the biggest heart. Although it was a long shot when he came out of the blocks, Bellevue East senior Brandon Schutt knew if his time was good enough that day, he still had the potential to qualify for the upcoming state meet. A mile into the 3.1-mile race, however, Schutt realized he wasn't going to be able to keep up the necessary momentum. Rather than risk injury, he slowed to a comfortable pace that would allow him to simply enjoy the moment and the day. Meanwhile, Omaha Burke High School sophomore Blake Cerveny was running a very different kind of race. Aiming to beat his own personal record, after a fast start, he continued to push himself hard. With less than 400 meters to go, Cerveny's legs cramped up and failed him. Before Cerveny's dad could reach his son, another runner, Brandon Schutt, was at his side to offer a helping hand. At a measured jog, with Cerveny holding Schutt for support and Schutt helping Cerveny maintain balance, the two completed the course in tandem. Schutt even made sure the injured runner crossed the finish line first, securing his opponent a faster time. In today's competitive world in which the emphasis in athletics is so often put on breaking records, it was inspiring to see that for an athlete like Brandon Schutt, the value of true sportsmanship still had legs. Number 3. Man saved by CPR after heart attack during the perfectly titled Bond movie, No Time to Die. A cinema goer who suffered a heart attack while watching the latest Bond movie was saved by fellow film fans who performed CPR on him. The film's title, No Time to Die. 81-year-old Malcolm Clark went into cardiac arrest at the Odeon Cinema in Sheffield, South Yorkshire, during a screening of the new release. Members of the audience, believed to have included a doctor and a nurse, came to Malcolm's aid and helped keep him alive as the room was evacuated. Thankfully, their efforts were successful, and paramedics soon arrived and took Malcolm to Northern General Hospital, where he remains in a stable condition. The 4 people who helped Malcolm just disappeared in the aftermath. The consultant at the hospital said the prompt and quick CPR had saved Malcolm's life in the cinema before the ambulance got there. Malcolm has been reunited with 3 of the 4 lifesavers, but would like to meet the 4th to say thank you. Number 2. Prison inmates learned to quilt and now make amazing personalized gifts for foster care children. While quilting bees generally conjure images of grandmas piecing together scraps of fabric to create family heirlooms for future generations, crafting the colorful, cozy bed covers has become an outlet for incarcerated men, not only to express their creativity, but to give something positive back to the communities from which they came. Over the past 10 years, more than 2,000 personalized quilts assembled by the inmates of Missouri's South Central Correctional Facility have been donated to children in the state's foster care system or auctioned off to fund local charitable organizations. "When I learned that I could help bring a smile to a child's face, I was all in," said Fred Brown. William White, an upholsterer by trade, felt a special affinity for the project and joined soon after he began serving his sentence in 2015. Along with his other prison chores, White volunteers to spend 7 hours a day, 5 days a week quilting with his peers. Based on the precept of restorative justice, which stresses rehabilitation rather than punishment, keeping the prisoners' minds and hearts engaged while letting them feel like they're making useful contributions to the community has been a game changer, even for those who may spend the rest of their lives behind bars. Knowing firsthand the feeling of being forgotten by society, the inmates who participate in the quilting circle strive to personalize each quilt for foster care kids to let them know someone cares, that they're not throwaways. Number 1. World Heritage Rainforest handed back to Aboriginal owners. Australia's Daintree, the world's oldest tropical rainforest, has been returned to its Aboriginal custodians in a historic deal. The UNESCO World Heritage Site is over 180 million years old and has been home to generations of Aboriginal people. The Eastern Kuku-Yalanji people will now manage the national park with Queensland's state government. The Daintree borders the Great Barrier Reef and is one of Australia's top tourism drawcards. It is famed for its ancient ecosystem and rugged, natural beauty, which includes forest vistas, wild rivers, waterfalls, and white sandy beaches, which spans a combined area of over 160,000 hectares. Multiply the positivity by sharing these sweet stories with your friends on social media. Like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to receive notifications for upcoming positive listicle videos.